Hi, good morning.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good. And thank you for responding to my email with my transcript I sent for 10 good ways to save money.
Yes, you know what I thought I would do, because you sent that really useful link. I'm actually going to put it into the chat towards the end of the session so everybody can just connect to it straight away.
Oh, okay, no problem. As I said, Ian said that he would send it out. So I'm always hesitant of when you send something from one format to another, characters get changed, like especially the pound and the dollar symbol, or something.
I did open it. There was only $1 sign, which I changed back to a pound sign.
Brilliant.
But who knows when somebody else downloads it? Maybe it'll have switched around again.
Okay, no, but thank you for doing a double check for me.
Yeah, no problem.
I just thought that would get that to people, especially our community groups. Because we work with a large Afro-Caribbean as well as Asian community who like to, who want to be able to save money. So, and I think it was nice that we had so many different groups who are on, and I think it would be good for them because they're working with clients who, during this pandemic and all these other things, they're having a tough time. So little things they can change to their lifestyle without hurting themselves too much. I think that's.
And what I felt was really the most useful thing about the PowerPoint is that anybody can adapt it to use with their clients.
Absolutely, and that's what, as I said, because I'm responsible for a credit union, our objective is that we're a cooperative and we do ethical banking. And there are so many people during this pandemic who have been financially excluded. And the significant number have been people from the BAME community. What we found that where a credit union existed in parts of London or the large cities, more people from the BAME community were joining the local credit union, because that's what they were used to, perhaps if they were living in the Caribbean or in Africa or in other parts of the world. It was easy banking for them, and you only lent money to the members who were part of the credit union.
It's really important.
Might be useful for Harriet, because she just mentioned that she's part of an Afro-Caribbean community. So for her, credit unions should be second nature, I would have thought, unless I'm mistaken.
A slightly different aspect to our group is that we focus a lot on the elderly, and most of our members are retired, but of course, the younger members of their family could benefit if they had that information.
So Jane, feel free to send it to both the CACHE network as well as the other members of our Ealing and Hounslow CVS. It's not a restricted document. It's one we're doing as a mini blog anyway, so it's going to be in the public domain. So no problem at all.
Very helpful.
Thank you, Mukesh. Like you said, every small change does make a difference.
It really does, and it's so good to have that kind of shared learning. And we do forget, we're living in the UK, but we also forget that people from many different cultures live here and use different methods of banking and financial control. So it's really
the hard part about, I found, as I said, one of the things we found is that during this pandemic, people have had issues with banking, and the credit unions have been stepping in to try and do the financial inclusion so people can, still pay their bills, save money, and the issue about some of the, you still got to do all the various checks and so on. But when we're not in the situation where somebody says, you need to produce a driving license and you need to produce a passport. A lot of people don't have driving licenses, and many people don't have passports. So what do you do? And we work with the probation service. When the young lads or other people come out of prison, they don't have any documents. The only letter they can say is actually a letter from their probation officer. So they are financially excluded because the bank or the building society won't very easily allow them to open a means to be able to put money into, because they're going to get funds, you know, to support them, just like child benefit allowance. They'll get some sort of a small amount of money, but where do they put that? You know, how do they cash it? So that's how flexible we are, by actually recognizing that not all forms of ID are required. We have to, you know, we get them opening a savings account first so that they can at least start putting their gyro check or whatever, or doing electronic banking. And a lot of people just don't, you know, think that through. So hopefully, you know, when you talk today, I saw the list of speakers. It's a very topical thing.
Yes, we've got some lovely speakers today. We've already got quite a few people here. So I'm going to turn off the PowerPoint so that you can all say hello. And then we'll go back to the PowerPoint because it's got the list of what we're doing on it, which is always useful. But it's always nice to see faces at the start of the meeting. And when we've got the PowerPoint on, we only see a few, don't we? Yeah, hi everyone. Really lovely to see you all. Shanjit, where are you?
Oh, she hasn't turned her video on yet.
No video today. I'm missing your face, Shanjit.
There she is.
There she is.
Lovely.
And she's still
now
muted
we
as
can
well.
start.
Good morning, everyone. Very good morning.
Good morning.
Excellent.
Good morning, everybody. So lovely
Good
to
morning.
see everybody join us today morning.
Yeah.
Nice sunny day, but you're making time for a nice chat.
I've got my T-shirt on for the first day.
It's time to take those out.
Yeah, it's time to get the shorts, the T-shirts, and
How do you know I'm not wearing my
Don't
shorts?
chase the weather away.
I'm wearing my
That's
shorts.
the beauty.
Yeah.
That's the
Well,
beauty of getting
Zoom and
online
things like
nowadays.
this. Yeah.
we can just pretend that we're smartly dressed. So I'll be leading the meeting today, but that doesn't really mean much except that I'm going to introduce people as we go along. So we've got some fantastic speakers to talk to us today, really, really interesting topics. I'm going to put the PowerPoint on straight away so that you can see what's coming. We'll get started, and then if people are late joining us, they can just join us.
Just one word to put in here, if you could put in your organization, a really boring instruction, but please put down your organization and your name. If you're smartly dressed like Mukesh, you don't need to do it. I know you very well. But
we had such a fun session on Tuesday, didn't we, Mukesh?
Absolutely. Yeah, we had a bit of fun and taught people. Yeah. And it moves. Look, it moves.
Yeah. By the end of the session on Tuesday, everyone wore mortarboards. Everyone graduated.
We graduated. We all graduated.
Brilliant. Yeah, we had a full-on graduation. It was a great, fun session. In fact, I would encourage everyone to come along to the next digital session, which is on the 13th. A really useful session for any group who is looking at how you're dealing with going online. So we're looking at getting online as a small group on the 13th of April. If you want any more information, you can ask Noika or myself, and we'll send it out to you. Really, just you're all welcome to come to that as well. So today, we've got some fantastic topics. We've got Gillian coming along to speak to us from, she's going to introduce the NHS Volunteer Responders Program. And then a little later, we've got Rahila talking about the befriending services. And I know before we even start, Noika wanted to say something particular about befriending. And here we have a beautiful poster. We've got two of them actually, and I'm going to make sure you all have them to use for yourself. I'll pop it in the chat later.
I think we need to say thank you to Rosita for bringing this to us.
Gorgeous.
Yes, somebody else sent it to me in Yoga. So I was quite impressed by it. And I thought, you know, if we don't have resources to this service locally or not enough of it, of course, they'll be friendly. Why not call this number, at least the national number, and they can get more resources from the government. So yes, it's quite an interesting project, isn't it?
Do you want to talk about it, Rosina, a minute or two?
All I know about it is what is in the leaflet, that if people feel lonely and isolated, there's a telephone number, they don't have to book it, and it's quite immediate. You just have to pick up the phone and just talk to somebody. And this service relies on volunteers. Really,
it's in many languages. It's in different languages.
That's another selling point. Thank you, NEWTORK, because the fact that there are about 6 or 7 other languages, and they've promised to bring in more translators, more befrienders who speak community languages, if if there is enough demand for it, of course. So yes, it's quite an exciting project. I hope we don't overwhelm them, though, because I send it out to all my projects, and I'm sure they'll cascade it as well.
Yeah, but what's really useful is there is the opportunity. There are 2 posters. There's one to recruit people to be befrienders, and there's one for people who are looking for somebody to speak to. So hopefully we won't overwhelm them, but we'll also provide them with people who would like to work with them.
So and we will be sharing these slides out
absolutely
today along with the pack.
Yeah. So at this point, I think what we're going to do is move directly on to our first speaker, and we'll welcome Gillian. Gillian, are you okay to show your own slides? Is Gillian here?
Yeah, Gillian is here, but we can't hear you, Gillian.
Okay, Gillian.
Now, do you want to log off and log back in?
Why don't you try putting her in the waiting room and then bringing her back in again? Sometimes that does the trick without logging off and logging on.
It'll take a moment, it's fine. We'll have her back in a moment. And we'll make sure that her, she's set up nicely to do that. She's got some fantastic PowerPoint to show us, I have to say. Having seen it already, I have to say, you are looking.
She's taken the sneak preview already.
I think it's worked.
It's worse.
I think Gillian, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Yeah, and we can hear you now.
And we can hear you.
See that little trick of putting you in the waiting room and bringing you back?
There we go.
Excellent.
I'm always glad with someone who understands the tech better than me, because I don't.
So, Gillian, do you want to show your slides yourself?
Yes.
Okay, lovely. I've shared the sharing with you, so you can take over.
Thank you. Can everyone see these slides? Actually, I'm just thinking, if you have the screen view that I have at the moment, probably to the right of the screen you won't see, but I know that you'll be sending the slides out afterwards, won't you? Okay, so yes, well, thank you for inviting me, and it's nice to meet you all. I'm one of the local engagement managers currently working with a voluntary service who have been commissioned by NHS England and NHS Improvement to set up the Volunteer Responder Programme, which has obviously been running throughout the pandemic, as you know, alongside many other programmes, and I've just been listening intently to what you've been describing here as well. And I just wanted to bring this to your attention, particularly this week on when the theme is around befriending, and just listening to what you were just sharing actually about the talk bubble scheme as well. So really, yeah, the aim of me kind of presenting to you just for 5 or 10 minutes is just to bring this additional resource to your, to your awareness, to help you understand what the particular roles of the NHS volunteer responders are and how they may be able to either help you or someone you know, or people that you work with in your communities and your organisations, or indeed your organisation itself. And also how you can refer either yourself or somebody into the scheme. And just a tiny little bit about what to expect during that referral process so that there are no surprises for you and it really will work seamlessly for you. So the aims of this, of the Volunteer Responders Programme are here. I won't read them out because this is afterwards, but essentially, and just to say this is changing a little bit because we're currently now going into this sort of early recovery phase really that we're being advised, aren't we, in this pandemic. So it's, although we understand there are an awful lot of people absolutely still in crisis.
Sorry,
Gillian, I was going to ask you, you know, because you're moving your head a lot, I think your microphone, I don't know where it's positioned, we lose half of the conversation. So you either become like that or somehow, or get your microphone because it's really difficult to.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I feel the same.
Is this a little easier?
That's perfect.
Brilliant. So yes, the scheme really was set up as I'm sure this will be familiar to all of you, to help those people who are in crisis, really vulnerable during the pandemic, but also as we're now heading into, or tentatively heading into a recovery phase, to also help those people who are beginning to come out of crisis as well. And it's also about helping people to step forward in a kind of perhaps more supportive way to support people by becoming volunteers and to increase the local, what we call the real-time capacity to help. So, you know, if someone has a need today, they can refer themselves, someone can refer them into the scheme, and the system, if you like, will look for a volunteer that can support their need today. So it's very much about real-time support. So just a graphic here around what the key 6 roles are, the key 6 volunteer roles are. And again, I won't read these out, but suffice to say there are 2 different levels of community response volunteering. This is really around that practical support where people are either needing to or choosing to remain at home for whatever reason. This is about helping them have their essential supplies, like shopping, medication, perhaps equipment. And it's also about supporting people who are anxious about venturing out now. You know, just because we are told that we perhaps don't have to shield from today doesn't mean to say that everyone's going to be dancing down the streets all of a sudden, of course. So this is about supporting people with those practical needs whilst they find their feet again, quite literally for some people. And there
Gillian, I'm sorry, really, Gillian, can we just try something because your sound keeps fading in and out? And I know everyone's really interested in what you're saying, but we're getting a number of comments about people not being able to hear everything. So I'm not
something perhaps over the
microphone.
microphone.
I think it's the nature of the speaker, so I don't think she can do anything different.
Yeah, it's something on your microphone that is not picking up properly.
May I suggest, Gillian, that you don't use the link and you need to get out and use your Google to say Zoom. And then when you have the detail, you have the pass and ID, that helps me normally because I have the same problem when I use my organization's link. Sorry about that. So that's for me, that's the solution. I don't know if that is.
Okay, that's interesting. Thank you, Rosita. Gillian, I'm just wondering if we could perhaps try, do you want to try and log in again with the, can I send you a separate invitation so you can log directly in?
Sure.
Let me, because we really do want to hear what you're saying. And I think it would just be frustrating at the end if we go through the whole thing and then you're not able to, we're not really listening.
I also think it's the network's getting weaker everywhere because everyone's on, the kids are on holidays now.
Oh, yes. Although we did have a year of it. So Gillian, which email shall I send it to quickly?
To the Royal Voluntary Service one, the one that you've got. So it's Gillian.Clark, up with an E. Gillian.Clark@Royal Voluntary Service.
Have you sent it, Noika?
No.
Can you invite?
I'll do that. I'll do that. I have your email.
All right, lovely.
I will log out. If all else fails, you have the slides here, and please feel free to circulate my email address should anyone want to ask me anything.
Okay.
For any reason I can't get back on.
Oh, no, we hope you can. What we'll do is we'll have an open chat at the moment until you get back in, and then we're sure you'll get back in the next 2-3 minutes. And then, Gillian, before you go, won't you just put your email into the chat so that people can contact you if they want to?
Send the link to you.
You got it. Thanks, Noika. Okay, we'll see you in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Lovely. Okay. Sorry about that, everyone. I just felt it was better for her and for us to try and restart it so that we can actually hear what she's saying. And, you know, to present for so long and then to find out afterwards we haven't missed most of it would be very sad. So we'll give her a few minutes. Anybody, any updates that you'd like to share while we wait for her? There are a few new people here today, so I'd like to welcome you as well. Nice to see you, Debbie. I haven't seen you for years. Hi. Oh, Lucy, good to see you back. Really enjoyed your presentation.
Debbie, you need to unmute yourself if you want for us to be able to listen to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying I'm now on the board of EHCVS.
Hello.
Hi, excellent.
Yeah.
How did you manage that?
Magic.
Yeah,
magic.
You know what?
I support ECN, and I mentioned Jane's work, and they said, but Jane works for the Hounslow part of the Ealing and Hounslow CVS. But I said, lots of people from Ealing attend her sessions. Oh, okay.
We're not supposed to promote the digital outside of Hounslow because it's specifically funded by Hounslow for Hounslow.
Oh my.
But you know, if somebody happens to be there, okay. Gillian, shall we try again?
Yes, I'll share my screen again, shall I?
Oh, that sounds so much better.
You are so clear now.
In digital sound now.
So actually, you've kept us all very intrigued because we were like this. We want to hear more.
Okay, let me just share my screen again. Hold on.
We would like to hear from the start again.
There. Would you like me to go back a slide or so, or just start from here? Can you hear me?
Maybe go back a couple of slides because I think the most of the presentation. Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. Actually, I'll just start from here. Okay.
Yes.
Excellent. So, yes, just to recap very briefly then, the aims of the NHS Volunteer Responder Scheme are really around providing protection to people who are clinically vulnerable, but also now people who are really quite anxious about re-engaging with everyday life. And I was saying before that, you know, just because I think it's actually from today, isn't it, the government has said people who have been shielding don't need to shield anymore, doesn't mean to say that those people are suddenly have the confidence or the abilities to suddenly just reintegrate to their daily life. So this is about helping people in very practical and supportive ways. It's also about providing real-time support in the community. So I was saying, you know, if someone has a need today, then they can either be referred or refer themselves into this programme for support, and a volunteer will be available to meet their needs today if needed, if it's urgent. So it's about that real-time community support too. And these are the 6 key roles. So very briefly, because you'll be able to read these afterwards. Community response volunteer roles are in 2 slightly different levels, if you like, depending on, you know, how vulnerable people are. It really is about supporting with those practical needs that mean that people have their essential needs met. So they have hydration, they have their essential medication. For some people, it will be essential equipment, whatever those essential practical things are that mean that people are safe and able to meet their basic needs at home. And then our volunteers will be able to go out and support them in actively getting those things for them. And particularly now, it is about supporting people, as I said, who are anxious about going out and perhaps don't feel ready to go out. So just because they don't have to shield at home doesn't mean to say that they can't access this. They're not ready to go out. And kind of similar, I guess, to the befriending scheme that you were just sharing before I started talking, with our check-in and chat volunteers. And this is absolutely for the same reasons that you were just describing, in that, you know, people are still at great risk of loneliness through self-isolation and anxiety. And we're seeing, and I'm sure that you're probably seeing this as well, that anxiety is changing into anxiety about everything's open. How do I get back into normality? So, you know, our check-in and chat volunteers are able to support people either on a short-term basis or on a slightly longer-term basis over a period of weeks, up to sort of, you know, 2 or 3 calls a week. And then we have the volunteer transport drivers as well, and 2 different types. One is really, in fact, the NHS all over the place is really encouraging people to book those appointments that perhaps they've been putting off at the moment, aren't they? So if booking an appointment means that you're then worried about how you're going to get to an appointment, then don't book the appointment in the first place, then our transport volunteers can help actually get people to those appointments. And we still have our transport volunteers for the NHS who can, you know, move essential supplies between bases, basically, whether that's medication from pharmacies or equipment or whatever that is. You know, basically relieving the pressure off the frontline staff as much as we can. And referrals, it's a very simple referral process. You can either, and you've got the direct links here actually as well later on in this presentation. So when you get this afterwards, you can click directly onto them. But referrals can be made by anybody. And if you have an nhs.uk or gov.uk email address, then those are absolutely recognised within the system and you can just go straight through as a recognised referrer. If you don't have those email addresses, absolutely fine. All that happens that's different is you have a sort of verification email that comes back to you after you make your first referral that you just need to click, and then you're logged as a referrer on the system. You can also self-refer as well, and there's a call centre, a call line with you know, take that referral via phone as well. And really, it's just a reminder here about anyone, you know, who we're here to support. Again, I won't read through that all, but it's really, you know, recognising that this is people in crisis, but it's also people who are really not feeling ready to reintegrate into a normal life. And a huge amount of things are anxiety out there at the moment. So there we have our kind of criteria there. When you make a referral, same as I'm sure most other referral processes, this is the kind of information that you're going to be requested either on the telephone line or on the online referral system. And you'll be prompted at every stage. So, for example, where it says things like type of support required or how regular, the level of priority, you'll be prompted and given some kind of definitions. But the level of, excuse me, the level of priority, high is really needed within 24 hours, medium within the next 2 to 3 days, and low could be anything up to a week. So if someone knows that they're going into a situation where they're going to need some support, then they can look ahead. But as I say, you'll be prompted for this information in the referral process. Now this, I'll draw your attention to this, perhaps to look through afterwards. This is, I love graphic things because it just puts everything in a pretty picture, basically. But this just describes the process for requesting support from the volunteer. And it just guides you through each of the steps, really, really simply. And also sort of explains that in the background, what happens is when you put a referral into our program, the program is very unique in that it's app-based. What I mean is we're partnered with an organisation called Good Sam, who originally had an app, a phone app, through immediate support to people with crisis for cardiac arrest. And that app has been evolved rapidly to support this program. So when you put your referral into the system, the app takes hold of it and it searches for volunteers that are on duty locally and sends out requests to those until one of them picks up that request and says, yep, I'll take it. I'll go and meet that person's needs today or tomorrow, whatever. This describes what's going on in the background. And again, I won't go through this, but this is literally what you will see when you log on for the first time as a potential referrer. If you want to refer someone with support and you suddenly think, oh my goodness, what's this screen? It's a very simple process that just gives you a heads up about what to expect. And really, these are the this is our key website that has got absolutely everything on. So it's split into really helpful sections, like if you want to support yourself, if you want to refer someone for support, indeed if you want to volunteer as well. We're still actively recruiting volunteers, particularly in local communities like in your areas, and particularly because, as you said earlier, we know that language can be an absolute barrier to either identifying support or accessing support. So, we're particularly keen to engage with people who are willing to offer some time, who are able to speak, different languages in their local communities. So these are the direct email and website addresses that you can click onto when you have the presentation. So really, that's a whistle-stop tour. I've probably taken way longer with the audio issues.
Gillian, a small request here, since most of us still couldn't catch up with what was said, and I think everyone's really interested to know more. We gathered what was happening in the slides, but you were breaking up there. Would it be possible for you to record this session and send it to me, and I can send the slides out? I'll put it on the website. Yeah. On the EHCVS, where we have our CACHE network resources, and I'll send the slides out to everybody. So apologies for all the inconvenience, and
I was obviously still obviously the audio still wasn't great.
No, I think it's a network issue, and there's nothing you could do about that. So we didn't want to interrupt you again.
I will stop sharing.
Okay. Thank you very much, Gillian. What I've done is I've put the slides onto the chat so people can access them immediately. But I know they wanted to hear your words as well. So if you do create that recording and send it to Noika, then we can share that with everyone.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Would anybody like to ask some questions now of Gillian? Lucy.
Well, it wasn't really a question, but I just did want to say it just sounds like such an amazing service. And I think one of the bits that was a bit patchy was the bit about a special act that means that you can help somebody to get help right away. I thought that sounded amazing. So I think I'm going to be going through all the links just to check I'm all signed up there, because that sounds like, 22nd century response times.
It does sound amazing. Mukesh, you had a question?
Yeah, I was just going to wonder, I know it's volunteers. Part of the driving people, say, from their home to the hospital, in some hospitals, they give volunteers a mileage thing, a mileage cost or mileage, cover their mileage cost. Is with what you're doing, is the same principle applied?
Yes.
Okay, I think that's quite important. Maybe you put it in the little footnote in your presentation to say that fuel mileage costs will be covered for any driving, because I think that's it's many volunteers will just do it anyway, but I would say put it there and then they can decide what they want to do with the money, whether they give it to the hospital or to the WRVS, you know.
Yeah,
that's a really good point. Thank you.
That was really interesting. And you know what, there was a really interesting observation made by Janine on the chat, which I think was quite relevant. Thanks, Janine. You said this is a really interesting exercise listening to Gillian, because this is kind of what people with hearing loss experience. They kind of need to hear, but not quite hearing things. So, you know, not a total loss for everyone. But and Gillian, really interesting information, and so good that it ties in really well with the other service that Rosita shared. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Well, hopefully we'll see you again, because we would like to hear what happens and what's next and what else develops out of this. And of course, we now have our next speaker. And I would like to welcome, of course, just hold on one second, let me get it up. Share that, hold on, share my screen, get it up. Here we are. So we can see all together. We have got now with us Rahila Nachul, from Befriending Services for BAME Women who have language issues, which is quite a specific area and very relevant to our group today. Thank you, Rahila. I'll hand over to you. Do you have slides?
Yes.
Okay. I'll close that and share this. Share. Okay. It's all yours.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Rahila. I'm the founder of Organization Center for Human Development. I'm very thankful to Ealing and Hounslow CVS for inviting me today to talk about our work. So yeah, thank you, everyone. Here we go, Center for Human Development. This is our website. We are on Facebook, we are on LinkedIn, we are on Twitter, and we are on Instagram. Center for Human Development is an entirely BME women-led organization. We work on social, economic, and political empowerment of BME women, but we are open to all. So I take pride in saying this, that Center for Human Development is just 2 years old organization. And in this 2 years, we were able to reach many people. We were able to build connections, partnership with different like-minded organizations. And I also take pride in saying this, that we don't have any full-time or part-time staff. All of our work is done by our volunteers and our trustees. Most of them are volunteering with us full-time. So you may be wondering why we are working on, BME or women empowerment. What is the need? So I would like you to say all our projects are scientific data-based. So we believe on facts and figures. So if we can say, global figure about women leadership, there are just 6.1% of current women leaders are women. Only 7.4% of Fortune 500 companies are run by women, and only 1 in 20 CEOs are women. So if you can say this is a global figure, what we have to do with UK or particularly London or Hounslow. So if you can see that in UK in 2020, only 5 FTSE 100 companies are steered by women. And unfortunately, there is no Black CEO in FTSE companies. So this is the reason that we are working on all these aspects like social, economic, and political empowerment of BME women. So if you need more data, let me know. We have all data and it is credible and authentic. Now I will move to my next slide about our work. Here we go. So all our projects are thematic, particularly if you say most of them cover befriending things. For example, our project, Community Cohesion and Social Integration, our Employability Support Service, business mentoring, and talk show. This is the Women's Roadmap to Success. So let me take you to our, thematic first project, like community cohesion and social integration. As all of we know that how sometimes lonely and isolated people feel. I'm so sorry, my toddler daughter will be joining with me. So we are being working mother, so it's always challenging, but yes, I'm proud of that.
Very good.
Yeah, so we run different programs for community cohesion and social integration. All our programs are aiming to to make people, particularly BME women, to come together so that they can make friends, they can enjoy, and they can share things. For example, we run craft sessions, we run dance sessions. What we have found that it's not always important that people speak same language. Sometimes they speak the language of their skills. Sometimes they speak the language of their activities like dance. So that's why in our groups, we have a women from India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Lebanon, Turkey, and even US. So even they don't understand language sometimes, but they understand their skills. They share passion. So that's what I think very important when we work on befriending. So language barriers are there, but we need to be very creative how we can bind them together through different activities and projects. So we also deliver creative writing workshops. We deliver public speaking workshops. In that way, women come together in writing, in speaking. So that helps them to do friendships. So as I said, we always believe in delivering quality service. So we always invite highly qualified professionals to deliver our services. For example, our creative writing workshop was delivered by award-winning author Jacqueline Crooks. Sorry.
Don't be.
Yeah, and Jacqueline Crooks delivered those services in public speaking as well. And Jacqueline was awarded by Arts Council of England as well for her writing project. So these projects was delivered in her. Then if we talk about our second project, it's employability support service. So, while we were doing baseline study about this project, we found that many women have advanced level of degrees from their home countries, and they do know English, they can talk, but can I put my video on? Because I think many people may get distracted with my toddler.
Oh, no, it's lovely.
Okay. So, yeah, so then we found that, they speak, but they are not confident. And they have advanced degrees. Some of them have 2 masters, but they are not able to find relevant job in their sector. Then through employability support services, we were helping them to, get high quality CV writing support so that, oh, sorry. So that they can write relevant jobs. And I'm also very glad in saying that we work with UK NEWTORK, that's a designated agency of UK government, in helping women to frame their career path, because sometimes they are not able, whether their degrees are valid in UK or not. Sometimes they are confused. What are the next steps? So we make proper career path, and there is also, statements which UK NEWTORK issue about their degrees, how valid they are in the UK. So in that way, they are able to, whether they want to go for further studies or whether they want to, join jobs of their relevant sector, this is helping them through these services. Then our third thematic program is business mentoring. So there are many women who need befriending in this particular sector because it is unlikely they find like-minded people. So in business mentoring, we are supporting women to get a group of like-minded people, and we mentor them in telling them about the legal structure which they want to create for their startups or for their businesses. What are the needs they need, are looking for. Similarly, we are trying to, support them in writing business proposals, in putting, in supporting them how they can get in touch with angel investors or some kind of other programs. And as I said, we always believe in delivering high quality work. So our workshops were delivered by Dr. Elena Sarnova. She has done PhD from Birmingham University, and she was awarded, she's a serial entrepreneur and has been co-founded by organization which was funded Innovative UK Fund. So similarly, our last thematic program like talk show, women talk show, where we invite inspiring women to talk about their success so that other women can get inspired with the work. So that's why, in general, we take befriending in a very broad and in a very liberal way, because we want to connect through this befriending not only people who feel socially isolated and or who are lonely, but we also want to support women even if they are socially integrated with their communities, but they often feel lonely. So because these are the two terms, lonely and isolation, they feel isolated. So that's how we are supporting these women from all backgrounds so that they can come. And I'm also seeing that our employability support service, we are 7 days open and 7 hours in a way. If we feel someone needs in writing high quality jobs, please let us know. By high quality, I mean if they want to work on international organizations like Amnesty International or Oxfam, please let us know. We will be, helpful to them in writing those kind of CVs which require high, detailed analysis of how they can write that CVs. These besides this, we have some activities which we do for local community, like we do local touring, for newly arrived women who are newly here and they don't know where they go, what they do. So we support them the way, helping them which schools are good for them, how they can choose schools for their kids, and all kind of activities. But broadly, we work on these 4 thematic programs. So besides, discussing or sharing our work, I would mostly like to, share about our learnings, because we work with hard to reach communities. That's why I have seen many organizations are interested in working with BME community. So I want to share my experiences. If you want to work with BME community, particularly with hard to reach community, what are the things you need to take in consideration, in considering the cultural sensitiveness? So here we go. So I have seen some organization working on mental health. I would like you to know that there are many groups who still feel that mental health is stigma. So if you want to work with communities, particularly with BME women, just don't use this word mental health. I know I am very conservative in here because in our experiences, we have shared with many women, we are trying to counsel them. Mental health is like other disease. So we don't need to be shy, or we don't need to feel stigmatized while saying mental health. But we have found that once we start, saying this, they get alienated. They don't come to us. So then we are trying to say strategy, like if, for example, we say, okay, we are doing coffee mornings. Okay, if even though it is a, to make them more appropriate for them, and or we are saying, oh, let's go for a walk, or if you have an allotment, or if you are doing some agriculture kind of activities, we are saying, okay, we are going for exercise and all that. So we need to take in this mind, otherwise we may get as an organization, I feel we may get alienated from the people for whom we want to work. Though we are trying to counsel them, okay, mental health is equivalent, like other disease have, mental health is similar. But somehow at the same time, we have to change our strategies, how we can address. Then, for example, we need to use very culturally sensitive words. For example, using word beneficiaries. It is good if you are writing in fundraising application or your reports, but if you are working on ground or with BME community, particularly hard to reach community, don't use beneficiaries for them, because it is just kind of, they feel that they are compromising, dignities if they take benefit, from charities somehow, because no one want to get benefits or they feel that they are underprivileged. So in order to make them feel privileged, in order to make them feel, okay, they are not at disadvantageous position. So we need to use very sensitive words, like we are saying, okay, our well-wishers, or we are saying, okay, our, community members. In that way, we are able to deliver work more confidently. then there are many food banks here, but again I can say our community groups, they are feeling kind, shy in getting help from food banks, and in that case even we have to deliver them food, and particularly during night, even discussing with them that there is nothing stigma if you go to the food bank, but somehow we have to understand their shyness, and at the same time we are working on them so that that shyness can go away and they can get support from different food banks. And in that case we have personally, we trustees have to personally go to deliver food, and then we cannot involve in that case volunteers as well, because if they see volunteers are there and they get really, they may not get, we may not be able to build that confidence while working with them. So these are the things, these are just sharing, my sharing, maybe sometimes I may not be wrong, or our strategy may be different, but at the end we have to see how we can support our community in a confidential way, or in such a way so that they feel more confident in connecting with us. Yeah, thank you so much everyone for listening today and entertaining me and my toddler.
Thank you so much, Rahila.
So you can reach us. Yeah, any organization you want to work with us, please reach us. These are our phone numbers, contact information. We want to get connected.
Okay.
Thank you, Rahila. That was great.
That was really good. Rahila, will you put those contact details into the chat? That would, then everyone can have a look at it. We've had a couple of comments in the chat. One from Mukesh. Rahila, have you considered putting your charity on the Chamber of Commerce for Hounslow?
Oh, that will be fantastic. Thank you. We were certainly love to do that.
So perhaps contact Sally Smith at the Chamber of Commerce. She's really lovely. Has anybody else got questions for Rahila?
Yeah, I do.
Hi, Emirates.
Hi, Rahila. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How about you?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm just trying to lower my hand now.
I can do that, don't worry.
Oh, great, thank you. Yeah, Rahila, I think the project that you've got going on is absolutely amazing. And coincidentally, this is something that us as an organization were looking to kind of get more involved with before the lockdown just occurred. My name's Amrit, just a bit of introduction. I'm the managing director for UK Karate. We focus on mental, physical, spiritual well-being by providing karate martial art classes throughout the whole of the area in UK. And what we've noticed is we've been running since 1978, and we have a range of instructors. We have over 20, 30 instructors at the moment within the lower West London area. And about 6 of those instructors are women. And we really wanted to encourage more women to become instructors and to start kind of being pillars of the organization and holding classes. And we had a large actual interest in women-only classes as well, particularly from a lot of women from the Islamic background who wanted to partake in martial art classes but never felt they could do it. We've helped quite a lot of women. In fact, one of our instructors was from a domestic abuse background, and she joined us about 5 years ago, and she's really doing well. Has her own classes, been teaching for about 2 years now. So this is something that as an organization, we really wanted to get involved with and start kind of encouraging more women to participate in martial arts and actually start teaching and coaching. And what I've done now is I've actually formulated a course where we would like to invite women to join this course free of charge to learn this lifetime skill, so we can actually provide opportunities for them as jobs. To become female instructors and to kind of add and give back to the community as well. So this is something really right down your street, and I'd love to get in contact with you.
Yeah, this is wonderful, because our goal is also to help women increase their visibility in unconventional and non-traditional roles. That is our aim as well, how we can support women so that they can break the barriers and have their visibility. Yeah, this is fantastic work. We would certainly love to get in touch with you.
That'd be amazing.
Thank you, Amrit. Really a relevant question there. Rosita, would you like to ask your question? I know you put it in the chat, but you've got your hand up as well.
Yes, please. If I may ask, what's your geographical remit? Do you operate in Ealing?
We operate in Hounslow. We are virtually based in Feltham.
Oh, perfect.
Okay. That's great.
Lovely.
That's great.
Thank
That's
you.
why you can have get-togethers. I wondered about that because the name of your organization implies a much larger organization. I thought maybe you were London-wide. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Omar, you're next. Oh, your sound is off. Let me.
Okay, I
you're
was
great.
sorry, I
Okay,
was
great.
just want to say, Real, I was contacted a couple of days ago by the Hounslow Public Health regarding, you know, those families, low-income families who wanted some help. And I know you've said that some of the families do not accept, you know, food bank stuff like that. So what I did was try to find out from, you know, the Somali community, engage with them. And most of them, when I give them the phone numbers and ask them to contact, you know, these places that can help them, few days later, when I contact them, none of them have you know, contacted them and asked for any help. And so after talking to some of the people, I was told that, you know, there's no way that, you know, the community somebody would go out of the way because they feel that stigma of, you know, being told like, you know, this person is so bad that the community, most of them will, you know, they will affect their kids and stuff like that. So, and the other thing is, when you talk to them and ask them, you know, about their mental health, they will tell you, I'm perfectly fine.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with you. But when you start engaging and ask them about how the kids are, how you coped, and then you can see them, you know, slowly opening up to you and slowly telling them that, you know, how they are and everything else. So as a community ourselves, as a Somali community, I was talking to the Hounslow public health officers. There are people out there who mostly, and I tell you 110% that need the help,
yes,
but they're coming forward. And this is the things that, you know, the Hounslow Bar of Council, there is so much help, but they don't understand how to approach these people and how to help them. And the only way we can help them is people like you who understand the cultures and everything else, you know, and the way to talk to people, you know.
Yes.
And the other way to talk to them is by asking them about the kids. At the moment, the biggest fear is the GC. I was talking to them yesterday and I'm telling them, like, you know, you keep saying about the mental health of these people. Have you thought about the kids? You know, and I was today going to ask Ian and NEWTORK to invite the, you know, education sector from Hounslow, because they have, you know, when the kids are affected, the parents also affected, the whole house becomes a toxic. And Hounslow Bar of Council, at the moment, you know, it's like they have abandoned the kid. They're not talking about the kid. The kids who are sitting for GCSE, the kids who are sitting for the, you know, year 5 and year 6 SATs, there is not much help for them. And these parents cannot afford to pay per kid 20 pounds to 30 pounds for this kid. So what I will ask the board here is all, you know, not to talk about it, but do something about it. It's like, this is how we look at it as a culture. You go to the doctor with a wood, and then the doctor start poking it and then send you home. Did he help you? No, he has actually caused you more harm by talking to these people of, you know, telling them like, oh, you know, this is what's going out there. You are absolutely affecting them more. Is that right, Ray, or not? You're affecting them. You have to have a solution. Every problem has a solution. You have to find a solution for the problems, and has to cast the bar. If they want to help people with mental health, they have to start with the kids. They have to talk to people to a certain way, and an organization like yours, I think, will go a long way in helping out these people. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Omar. Yeah. Thank you. That was really, really useful. Rahila, do you want to respond to Omar?
Yeah, that's why we have to be, you know, very culturally sensitive, and we would love to work with other organizations working, you know, on similar issue or addressing the similar problems of the community, which we think that they are not quite, you know, open to these discussions, and we can create strategies in that culturally sensitive way so that more people can join. Yeah.
Okay, Rahila, we have a question from Lucy from Mind Food as well. And then after Lucy, we're going to go back to Mukesh. And I'm sure there'll be more questions.
I just had a couple of points. I thought it was very interesting talking about mental health stigma. And one of the things that we do is we talk about well-being, self-care, and the importance of looking after yourself so that you can look after other people properly. And that seems to be something that really has a lot of traction for people that come to us. And I wondered what Rahila thought of that as an approach. And then the other thing that I noticed was there was talk about well, in terms of mental health being an illness, actually, when people come to us, we don't say that they're ill. We say that really they've been broken, because actually there's so much to show that it's about society and injustice that's, you know, wearing people down. It's not so much of being ill as really just having no bounce left back. And so we kind of always try and act in a way that still recognizes the stigma of mental health. And then the third point, I feel I'm just going to instantly forget it, except that, oh yes, no, is that in terms of tackling real, I love the approach of Rahila's work in terms of finding a common theme to bring people together, and you know, what else comes out of it is, you know, is a huge benefit. And we think that signposting is a real key part of tackling real world problems. A bit like Omar was saying, you still need to put in the work to pair people up with the right services in a way that feels right for them. And we find that we can't ever do that in a group. We always do that one-to-one because it is quite a sensitive thing. But I wondered what Rahila thought about the well-being self-care tack, whether that we were on the right track there.
Yeah, Lucy, you know, it is, yeah, the way you are going ahead, or the strategy or the culturally sensitive words you are using, that is perfect, fine. So what I can do, I think we should have a meeting, you and me, maybe sometimes, you know, we can think how we can make it more relevant to the groups which we want to work. Sometimes, you know, if you can tell them about self-care, or if you can tell them they are broken, you know, it is somehow they feel, oh no, they are very strong, they are not broken, you know, though they are, you know, these things are there. So
being bashed about.
Yeah. So we can work together on this. Maybe we will have a meeting, and we can see how we can. Yeah, yeah.
Lovely. All right, I got your number anyway.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mukesh. Your question?
Yeah, I was just going to give some suggestions. Rahila, I really thoroughly enjoyed, first of all, listening to you. And all the things you're doing are things which are most relevant during this pandemic period. What I was also going to say is that when you're having your group chats or anything like that, I'm more than happy to be a presenter, so I'm volunteering. And the reason I'm saying about volunteering is that one of the things which I've learned, especially during this pandemic, is the issues around domestic violence, and also the fact that especially the ladies, their money is being taken, especially the child benefit money is being taken by their partners. So what we've seen in the work I do with the credit union is that we're seeing more and more, well, we're helping more and more women to actually open savings accounts so that their child benefit allowance goes into a separate account which their partner can't touch. But then it also enables the ladies to be able to save for the things the children need. Like, for example, it's the peaks and troughs of making sure they get the right uniforms, they're going to buy a pair of shoes. But if their partner has taken all their money, what do? So as I don't know whether you caught, you heard me talking right at the beginning, I did a little presentation on 10 ways to, 10 savings tips for people. But just being able to do financial inclusion, especially for women who are excluded. And I think what Omar was saying, it's really important that women do have some financial self-sufficiency, which their partners can't get hold of, especially when we've got all these big issues around domestic abuse and domestic violence. So feel free, if you want to have someone come in and do some presentations or just generally talk, because I have worked with about 3 or 4 different women's groups, and they just wanted me to come in and just pick a topic and just talk about it and then have an interactive session. So using Zoom or anything like that, I'm more than happy to support you. Okay.
Thank you so much.
But the child benefit thing, I think it's really important. You might want to consider. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Mukesh. Sorry, Rahila. We've got a few more questions. Sorry, Hibu, can you turn your sound off? Thank you.
You can do that.
Yeah, I'm going to. Just a second. There we are. Okay, so I will turn your sound off if there's background noise, just to warn you, everyone. We've got 3 more questions. Can we go to Noika? She's got one and has been asking, and then we'll go to Sharanjit and then Omar. All right. Noika?
No, I've already talked. I've already spoken.
Okay. Oh, okay. So I'll take yours down then.
Okay.
Thank you, Jane. I just wanted to tell, just wanted to share my views on this is what I feel the BAME women or women from the BAME community believe that they're super strong. And if you approach people, and ask them how they're doing, the first statement is I'm doing fine or I'm good. And they reach a point, they don't express that they're broken, like Lucy said, or they don't want to accept that till they've reached a point when it's difficult to turn back. And I think befriending is the best way to, reach them or connect with them before they reach that point, because there's something about the community, the stuff that you've gone through, and you want to be a fighter all through. And I feel that's the reason they just don't want to accept mental health as an issue, domestic violence as an issue, or I'm stressed out and I need help. These are points you just never want to reach, or you never want to say you're broken.
Yeah, it doesn't pay to be brave.
Yeah. So when you're taken unexpectedly by a group of friends and you open up, that's where you actually realize, and you're talking to yourself that yes, you need that help. Yeah. And I think befriending is the best connect there. So thank you, Rahila, for all the good work you're doing, and everyone else.
Thank you, Noika. Rahila, do you want to respond, or shall we move on to Shanjit, and then you can respond to everyone together?
Thank you, Noika. It was really wonderful. Yeah, certainly, I completely agree with you.
Okay, Sharanjit.
Rahila, well done. I've attended some of your programs. You're doing really well because I have a similar aim as well. We are also trying to contact people for the befriending as well. The first thing is, at the moment, everybody is living in the denial of a mental health. Everybody have a certain amount of mental health, but everybody's living on the denial. People don't want to accept it easily. I think it's a lot to do with the women's pride as well, because they've been giving to the world all their lives, and they find it hard to accept I'm needy as well. So you're doing a brilliant job. I'm proud of you. As the many hours you're working, I've seen you working day and night, hard with the little child as well, but brilliant. Keep it up, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Sharanjit. Thank you so much. So I also, understand how hard you also work. So together we will certainly.
Thank you so much, Rahila. What an absolute pleasure to have you here. It really has been. We're going to move on now, just a little exercise to redirect our thoughts and have something, an activity to get you all busy again. So as with the past, we've got a little Mentimeter for you, which I've put into the chat. A couple of questions for you to respond to, and we will put that up on the screen to share with you. So click on the link and respond.
Oh my word.
It's fun.
Jane, do you want to share your screen on that?
Oh, sure, I will. I'll get it up in a moment. God, I will. I've been.
So we can take the code from you.
Yes, sure. I've got about 6 screens up, so I'm afraid I've got.
Sorry.
I haven't been very good at. Let me get that up now. It'll be up in just a moment. There you go. There you go. Can you see that? All the words coming in.
No, I can't.
For those who would like to use their mobile phone, not done this before, just go onto the mentimeter.com, the site on your phone, and use the code 12454056.
Wow, that is properly fancy.
I know. Aren't we stepping it up?
I want one.
Oh, you know what? We shared the link. It's so easy to use, Lucy.
I'm going to quickly copy it. I'm just getting into screenshots at the moment, so I can just...
we'll share it with you. It's fine.
Lovely.
But you can use the Mentimeter. It's a free app. It's brilliant.
Oh, new favorite thing.
Yeah, I think it is one of our favorites at the moment. It's very responsive and fun. Yeah. Okay. So that's on befriending, which is pretty much the theme of today. Wow, look at that. What fantastic response. Okay, that link will be open for a while. I think we had 2 slides on that, didn't we?
Yes.
Let me put up the other one. And get the other slide up. I'm doing it while you're all watching, so you can see how easy this is. Did it the other day with the digital group. We created one while everyone was there, so you can.
Oh my word!
See
I feel I'm going to have to up my game.
Well, come along to our digital group.
There, she said it. Even though I'm ealing.
Oh, don't tell us. Well, no. You're allowed because
can
you can gate crash because you have people in Hounslow, don't you?
Yes. Well, we've kind of adopted them from your group.
Yeah. So you do support people in Hounslow. So that makes a difference for us.
Jane lets me get into it too. I'm from Ealing.
Yeah, we do. Let me put the new one on.
We actually have had some exciting Hounslow news. I think Chiswick House is in Hounslow, isn't it?
That's right.
Yes, we've just been given some funding to do a little pilot day at Chiswick House, doing some gardening and maybe also something creative. So yeah, we're well in Hounslow now.
Yeah, so you're absolutely welcome, Lucy. Come along to our next session, which is on the 13th of April. And you'd be very welcome to come and join us then. Okay, so there's the next link. Is it a different question, just to double check that I've sent the correct link out?
I don't think I've... Oh, is it in the chat? Sorry.
It's in the chat, yeah. It's in the chat. Isn't this fun?
Yeah.
Jane, we can't see your screen again.
Yeah, I'm getting it up. I'm getting it up.
So exciting to see all the comments coming in.
It is, isn't it? There you go. So let's see. This one will come up in a moment with name types of befriending available in Ealing and Hounslow. And of course, it's not just directly in Ealing and Hounslow, but the befriending that residents of Ealing and Hounslow have access to. So it could very well be that it's a service that's available nationally or London-wide, but something that Ealing and Hounslow can access. Waiting for the first. This is tense. We're waiting for the first words to appear.
I've already submitted it and it tells me that I've already done it. So I don't know why it's not come.
Oh, okay. Well, let me go and there you go. It's taking a moment. Can you see that, Mukesh?
But that's not mine though.
Oh.
That's mine.
Oh.
I beat you, Mukesh. I had to do a refresh though.
Yeah, I think it has to be a separate link.
Yeah, I've sent a separate link. There's two links.
I've used the second link. There's still.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, this is on the second link. Okay, that's really nice. I love the Sunshine of Hounslow. That's one that we're all very well aware of. Centre for Human Development, great. Talk Bubble. What's Talk Bubble?
Well, we just presented.
Oh, yes. That was I'm going back.
Dear. Come to the front of the class.
Come to the front.
The stress of hosting, we understand.
There you go. It's the stress of being the host.
It is. When Jane looks around like this and like this at all the screens that she has, it looks like she's got a CCTV in front of her.
It's mission control. She's controlling a couple of satellites while she's doing this.
We're managing that orbiting space junk, can't we?
And the earphones, the headphones really suit the look.
Well, you know what? The headphones actually do help because there are 4 people in this household, all online, talking on meetings at the same time. Oh my goodness. Because with work from home and my adult daughters being at university, it is constantly talking background that we've got going. So we need headphones.
You can't hear any of your background noise, Jane. That's impressive.
Yeah, it's pretty good when you've got the headphones and a microphone. It's very directed.
Yes, nice and clear.
Okay, well, that's really interesting. So what we'll do is we'll send this out to you as a link, and you can all access the Mentimeter and use it. And then hopefully you'll use Mentimeter in your own groups as well, because as you can see, it's a really useful tool, very instant, very gratifying to see the words pop up like that. Are you still entering, or shall I stop sharing at this point? I think I see busyness, but I'm going to stop sharing. I think it's done. We'll send that out to everyone. That's brilliant. Oh, well done. Yes. Graduation. Excellent. Well done. End of the session. We would love to hear your thoughts on where we're going with the CACHE meeting. So we're going to put in our feedback form as well. But before we do that, just want to talk about the COVID vaccine take-up. I promised to raise this again, because it is really, this is why the session started, isn't it, at the end of the day? It's around the COVID vaccine, and just want to share that again. And here we have a link that you can go on and share any thoughts and get the latest information on here. We can put that link onto the chat if you like as well.
You won't be able to, sorry, Jane, to interrupt you there. You won't be able to put in your information there. This is the link where you can access resources. But what we're looking for is, since the start of these sessions is, we've been talking about how COVID has affected us, the take-up of the vaccine, and we've been discussing about how we're trying to reach the hard-to-reach communities. If there are any success stories you have, trying to convert someone anybody you've gone ahead and who was reluctant to take it, but was more confident after we've spoken to them and reached out, please put your name, or just your name would do, in the chat link, and I will personally get in touch with you, and I would take your story and put it on the website. You might not be able to do it.
All right. So the link to share your stories is actually talk to NEWTOK. Send it to us, and rather than on this link on the slide. On the slide, you'll just find more information. Although I'm sure that there's always a way to give them your information as well. But really share your information with NEWTOK, because we would love to hear what is happening and how you are doing.
And would like to promote your group and the good work you're doing.
Oh, absolutely. Anything else, NEWTOK?
I've just put something in the chat box. It's the Lenny Henry video.
Oh, I was going to mention that.
And I was just saying, as we are doing this work today, I've just put that link there. Please share it on your various social media platforms.
It's so good.
Yeah, and it sums it all up completely for regardless, because I've got family in the Caribbean from Indian stock, but it's still aunties and uncles and everything else, and all the stuff Lenny and his colleagues have said sums it up. So
yes, it's a very good trust builder.
Yeah. So you can, does everybody remember how to copy the chat if you want to take it with you now? Otherwise we will share it. Do you all remember how to copy the chat onto your computers? So at the bottom, you'll see where it says file underneath the chat. There are 3 little dots.
Oh, yeah.
Click on the dots.
Oh, yes.
Okay, you should be able to save it from there. File, save it to somewhere. Brilliant, Debbie. Well done. Okay.
Could you guide us again, please, Jane?
Pardon?
Could you guide us again, please?
Sure. So at the bottom of the chat, you see where it says file and the 3 little dots?
Where you type your message.
So click on file and say where you want to save it to. Just put my computer, or your computer rather.
This is meeting setting, virtual background.
Okay, Shanji, do you see see where it says file? It's got a little square box next to the dots.
Sharanjit, you're not looking at your chat box. You need to look at your chat box.
I am looking in the chat box. I am.
Underneath the chat box, just where you start typing, you'll see above it, it'll say file.
No.
Okay, we'll send it to you. Don't you worry.
Okay, that's better.
Not a problem. All right. I have a little announcement just to remind you that we are actually doing the digital support groups, and we've got a session on the 13th of April when we've got a really lovely man talking about getting your group online and the kind of things that you need to do that. And I'm putting into the chat box the link so that you can book a ticket on that. It is free for everyone who is working in Hounslow. So if your group is based elsewhere, but you are actually supporting people in Hounslow, you're welcome to come along. Anybody else have an announcement or would like to share something? Hi. Hassan.
I would like to say thank you everybody who come in here, but I would like to make the ad when he said Abdurrahman and Omar. Really, Omar, I would like to say welcome anytime, Elise, you can contact. We will help you for the our experience for the mental health issue. Another thing, the other organization, I will encourage men to do inspire to learning what they call, because if you have a good leader or the community leader, I suggest everybody, you can take course for the call mental health first aid for the children. And that one is helpful for the young people and the people, they know who has a mental health issue, the symptoms, and he's familiar for the how to the treatment for the young people when they have an earliest mental health issue, especially the school. because some teachers, even they don't know if this child had a mental health issue, but they are suggest the schools, they must take a course for the mental health affairs aid. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hassan. Anybody else?
Yeah, it's Parul here. I'm just going to
Parul, hi Parul.
Hello, just a very quick announcement, very important announcement. Just want to tell everyone it's Jane's birthday today. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I can say that. I can say, I'll let you into a secret. It's my birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Change your hat.
Happy birthday!
That's what the hat is all about, yeah? That's what the hat is all about.
Oh, that's nice.
The other day when we finished the course, which Jane rang, I said we all should graduate. So I showed everybody how to do the video filters as part of the course. And we all got the little mortars on our heads to say we've graduated from
there you go.
From the course.
Lovely.
Yeah, thank you, Mukesh. So all the best people that I know are born on the 2nd of April, apparently.
Yeah, so this is like you, it'll be my second birthday in lockdown.
Yeah. It's a bit, it's actually quite nice staying at home, not having to go out.
Just would like to say that on Saturday and Monday, we are open to the children and families at disability community allotments. So they can come and enjoy the day at Way Avenue allotment.
Very good.
Thank you, Sanjay. I'm coming on Saturday. You know that.
Definitely. We got many families with the children coming to enjoy the day out. So at least they can get out to go somewhere, because a lot of spaces are not open. So we open it up to the public so people can come and enjoy with the little children as well. They will have refreshments provided as well.
Okay, thank you very much, Sharonjeet. It sounds like such fun. I'm going to call, please can you send me the details, because if it's the day after tomorrow, if I'm around, I might stop in. I'd love to see where you are. We've got one more question from Omar who wants to respond. Hi,
no,
Omar.
I just wanted to say, Hassan, Elise, thank you for the invite, and surely I will contact him. And I also sent a private message to New York, and I've asked her like if she can bring on board the education sector. As I said before, I feel, I think every one of you guys feel the same. The COVID-19 has affected mostly, people with low income families, and honestly, we need to look into especially the kids who are going to the GCSEs and who are sitting for the SATs. So if there is anything that when they come on board, the likes of Community Sunshine, Mukesh, Lucy, everyone who's here, and we can ask them a way to help these people, because mostly now what we get is the education sector's questions. And it also consists, when it comes to the health, the family good, as I said before. So let's try to get them, Jane, and ask them what we can do.
It sounds like something we need to put onto our priority list. Thank you so much. Rogers, you wanted to say something?
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. I just wanted to update the membership here about a project we are starting in a week's time, also called Good for Girls project. This really is about young people from the ages of 10 to 14, specifically from the BME community girls, to access relevant, holistic, and interventional mental health support through sports, arts, craft, relaxation techniques. So I'm just appealing to those who are outside there, specifically for girls from those ages 10 to 14 years from the BME community. We have a project to really allow them to access leadership skills for them to start addressing issues around mental health as well.
Thank you, Rogers. Do you have details for that? Can we put
yes,
it
I will
into
send
the chat?
details. I'll send Nyoka the details, yes.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, because that's a kind of, is that going to be a Chandler's Way as well, or where are you basing that?
It will be a mixture both online and also depending on the social distancing, will be also going out as well. Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's really going to be useful. We've got 2 more questions from Amrit and one from Lucy. Can we go to those quickly? Amrit, yes.
Yeah, just a quick one, please. I just got a message from Hebo to contact Ilyas to see if there's something that we can do together, which would be great. So if Ilyas, could you just put your number in the chat, please, and I'll contact you. Also, Rahila, I didn't manage to get your number. Is it possible you could also put that in the chat, please, and I'll get in contact with you? That'd be great. I'm a doer. I don't talk much, but I like to get done.
Very good.
Great.
Hi, Lucy.
Just a quick one for anybody who's worried about children with mental health difficulties. There are 2 apps that I can recommend that are worth checking out as parents. One is Headspace for kids.
Brilliant.
And the other one is Smiling Mind for kids.
Yeah. Those are brilliant. Can you put them
Lucy
in the chat?
could chat for us.
And I've put into the chat as well 2 free courses online for mental health first aid, one for children, one for adults. And if you go onto that website, there are a number of other free courses that you can access as well. So really well worth. There are a lot of free courses out there that you can access. Okay, well, thank you very much, everyone. I think we're coming to the end of our session. Any last requests? No?
Oh, lots of cake, Jane. We're looking forward to some cake.
Oh, well, I must say, Noike, if we were in an office, there would be cake.
We should have had this session live.
We should have.
We'll just have a big party sometime in August or September. Because I'm
looking forward to it.
Most of the organizations I'm involved with, even if the government have said the roadmap says June the 21st, most of them are not even considering face-to-face meetings until sometime in August.
Anytime you are most welcome. I will bring a bigger cake for all of you with the social distance as well. You just take your slice and move away.
Excellent. All right, Mukesh will have to plan something.
I've got golden heart for all of you.
Janine, I think Rogers will be sending me the information for on the project Good for Girls, and I'll pass it on to all of you.
Yeah.
We'll send it out. Rogers, would you be sending it out today so we can send it with the slide pack?
Yeah. Yes, I'll get it to you today. Yes.
Great. Thank you, Rogers.
Okay. Right. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful break over the weekend. It's and not too much chocolate.
And one reminder to Gillian, if you could also send out that recording to us, and we will put it on the website. I haven't seen anyone put in the chat of any success stories. If you do think of any, send me an email. My email address comes, I send out emails to you every second day. So I'm sure you're fed up of seeing it and you remember it by heart now.
It's brilliant.
So just send me a mail and I'd love to call and interview you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Have a lovely weekend,
Bye.
everybody. God
Bye.
bless.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Happy Easter.
Jane, I send you the address of the allotment.
Thank you.
And you got my number. If you would like to visit, please let me know. We always prepare some light lunch as well for everybody.
Oh, sounds good. Sounds good.
And Indian food, vegetarian.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Happy
Thank
birthday.
you. Happy birthday for tomorrow.
Happy birthday in advance to Mukesh Malhotra, and big hugs, Jane, for today.
Thank you, Shanji.
I don't get a hug. I don't get a hug.
You get a 10 hugs and one kiss as well.
I want to. This person who said got their name as admin. Who is it?
No idea.
Hi, admin.
Admin, who are you?
Who are you, admin?
We would love to know who you are. Hello.
Admin.
Okay. Well, I will go. You know what I will probably do is, if we don't know who people are,
put them in the waiting room.
that's exactly what I will do in future.
Yeah.
Or go through the recording.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in
Yeah.
future, we will put people who won't identify themselves, we will put them in the waiting room.
I think that's a good idea, Jane.
It's, you know, we
well
talk
done for
about
today.
lots of sensitive issues here.
I think
done.
it was very interesting session today. Very, very interesting.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was.
Go and have a birthday lunch, Jane.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Can I offer you the pack lunch, Jane?
Oh, bless you.
Something
All
nice, something special.
Can I change the channel? That's
I'm
great.
love you all and leave you.
No, I'm watching. that's us.
Bye, everyone.
That's us. Bye.
That's what my children sent to me.
Oh,
That's
let's have a look. Let's have a look.
That was good.
Oh, that's nice. That's
very nice. All
Oh,
right.
brilliant.
Hey.
Yeah.
Goodbye, everyone.
God bless.
Bye-bye.
Have a lovely day.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Goodbye, Yusuf.